The most intense pain I've ever experienced lasted just 3 seconds. Then I died. I'm Emma and I have to share what happened to me on October 22nd, 2024. I need to tell you because time is running short and what I witnessed on the other side will transform everything we understand about what's approaching. Before we go on, please tell me where you're listening from. It would be comforting to feel connected, even though we're far apart. Also, please like this video. It will help reach many people who need to hear this testimony and leave a comment. Share your thoughts about this near-death experience story. Let's have an honest and open conversation so we can learn from each other on this channel, and remember to subscribe for more content like this. Enjoy listening. I was preparing breakfast when it struck me. 1 second, I was breaking eggs into a bowl, humming an old tune, and the next second it felt like someone had grabbed my heart and crushed it with both hands. The pain shot down my left arm like electricity. I dropped the egg and it splashed on the kitchen floor. Yellow yolks spread across the white tiles like a small sun shattering. "Mom!" I called out, but my voice came out as a whisper. The pain was so intense, so overwhelming that it consumed everything else. I tried to walk to the living room where Mom was watching her morning news, but my legs became like water. I fell hard, my knees hitting the cold floor with a sound like snapping twigs. That's when I felt it, my heart stopping. Not slowing down, not beating irregularly, stopping like someone had reached inside my chest and flipped off a switch. The kitchen ceiling was the last thing I saw with my earthly eyes. White paint with a small crack that looked like a river on a map. Then darkness consumed me completely. But I didn't remain in the darkness. Suddenly, I was floating above my own body. I could see myself lying on the kitchen floor, my face already turning blue. The eggs I had been making were still in the bowl on the counter, but now they seemed so meaningless, like toys from a game I used to play when I was little. I heard Mom's footsteps running into the kitchen. She saw me and screamed, a sound so full of pain that it pierced through me, even though I was floating above it all. "Emma, Emma, wake up." She dropped to her knees beside my body and started pushing on my chest the way they show on TV. But I could see it wasn't working. My body just lay there like an empty house with trembling hands. Mom called 911. "My daughter, she's not breathing. Please hurry." Her voice broke into pieces, and each piece felt like a blade in my heart. Even though my heart had stopped beating, I wanted to tell her I was okay, that I was right there above her, but she couldn't see me. She couldn't hear me. All she could see was my empty body getting colder on the kitchen floor. The paramedics arrived quickly, but to me, time felt strange, like honey flowing uphill. They worked on my body with machines and medicines, shocking. My heart, trying to bring me back. But I was already traveling somewhere else. A light appeared, soft at first, then brighter than the sun, but somehow gentle on my eyes. It pulled me away from my mom's tears, away from the paramedics fighting for my life, away from everything I had ever known. As I moved toward the light, I felt peace wash over me like warm water. All the worry, all the fear, all the small hurts from my life just melted away. I was going home to a place I had never been, but somehow remembered. The light brought me to a place that had no walls, no ceiling, no floor, just endless beauty that seemed to breathe with life. Colors existed here that I had never seen on Earth, colors so rich and deep that they had their own music. I stood there, though standing felt different, like floating and walking at the same time, and looked around in wonder. Everything glowed with soft light, not from a sun in the sky, but from the very air itself. Then I felt him before I saw him. Love, pure, perfect love rushed toward me like a river made of light. Love that knew every secret in my heart, every mistake I had ever made, every good thing I had ever tried to do. Love that saw all of it and still wanted me there. When I turned around, Jesus was walking toward me. He didn't look like the pictures in Sunday school books. No long brown hair, no beard, no robe. He looked young and strong with skin that seemed to hold starlight and eyes that held the universe. His smile was so full of joy that it made me laugh out loud, even though I was crying happy tears at the same time. "Emma," he said, and his voice was like music and thunder and whispered prayers all mixed together. When he said my name, I felt like I was hearing it for the first time, like it had been created just for this moment. "Jesus," I whispered, though I already knew. Every cell in my being recognized him like a compass recognizing true north. He opened his arms, and I ran to him like a little girl running to her daddy after a long day. When he hugged me, I felt completely safe for the first time in my entire life. All the loneliness, all the fear, all the sadness I had carried just disappeared. "You have something important to do," he said softly, his hand on my head like a blessing. "But first, I need to show you what's coming." I looked up into his face, and his eyes were full of both love and sadness. "Show me what?" Instead of answering with words, he took my hand, and suddenly we were somewhere else. We stood on a hill that wasn't quite a hill, more like a place where you could see everything at once. Below us spread the entire earth, but not like a map or a picture. It was alive, breathing, full of people going about their daily lives, just like I had been doing when I died. "Watch," Jesus said quietly. As I watched, I saw three things that would happen, three signs that would come before the end of everything as we know it. First, I heard it, a sound unlike anything on earth. It started low, like the deepest note on a church organ, then grew higher and richer until it filled every corner of the sky. "This sound will last for 7 minutes," Jesus explained. "Every person on earth will hear it, no matter where they are or what they're doing. It will stop traffic, stop conversations, stop wars. For 7 minutes, the whole world will listen." I watched as people everywhere looked up at the sky with wonder and fear. Some fell to their knees, others covered their ears, but everyone heard it, and everyone knew it came from somewhere beyond their world. "It's a call," Jesus continued. "A call to come home, to turn away from the things that hurt them, and others to remember who they really are. Some will listen, others will explain it away as storms or earthquakes or airplanes, but everyone will have a choice to make." The sound was beautiful and terrible at the same time, like the singing of angels mixed with the crying of mothers. It made me want to run toward it and hide from it all at once. Then came the lights. For 3 nights, the sky filled with colors that danced like the northern lights, but brighter and more alive. They moved across the heavens like writing in a language everyone could understand in their hearts, even if their minds couldn't make sense of it. "The first night they will call it beautiful," Jesus said. "The second night they will call it strange. The third night they will call it terrifying." I watched people come out of their houses to stare at the sky. Children pointed and laughed. Adults took pictures with their phones. Scientists gave explanations on the news, but deep down, everyone knew this wasn't natural. The lights formed shapes, sometimes like hands reaching down, sometimes like eyes watching, sometimes like words written in fire across the darkness. They were gentle but insistent, like someone knocking on a door, waiting patiently for it to be opened. The third sign was the hardest to understand because it was the absence of something rather than the presence of something. Silence. For 1 hour, everything on earth went completely quiet. Not just people, everything. Birds stopped singing. Cars stopped running. Even the wind stopped blowing. The whole world held its breath. In that silence, Jesus said, everyone will hear their own heart beating. They will hear their own thoughts. With perfect clarity, they will understand exactly who they are and what they've done with their lives. For many, it will be the first time they've ever been truly alone with themselves. I watched as people sat in the middle of busy streets that had gone silent, tears running down their faces. Some cried from joy, finally hearing the voice of God they had been searching for all their lives. Others cried from sorrow, realizing how far they had wandered from love. After these 3 signs, Jesus said, and his voice carried both sadness and hope, there will be darkness, not as punishment, but as a reset, like when you restart a computer that's gotten confused. The world needs to remember how to be still, how to be quiet, how to listen to the important things. I looked at him with questions in my eyes. How long will the darkness last? 3 days. Long enough for hearts to change, for people to find each other in the dark, for families to remember what really matters. When the light comes back, everything will be different. Suddenly, we were back in that place of endless light and beauty. Jesus turned to me with eyes full of love and urgency. You have to go back, Emma. You have to tell them what you've seen. Go back. My heart felt like it was breaking. But I want to stay here with you. It's so beautiful, so peaceful. I know, he said gently. And someday you will come back and stay forever. But right now, people need to hear this message. They need to know what's coming so they can prepare their hearts. Before I could protest, he was walking away from me, getting smaller and farther away with each step. Wait, I called out. What if they don't believe me? What if they think I'm crazy? He turned back one last time, and his smile was sad but determined. Some will believe. That's all we need. Tell them to prepare their hearts, not their pantries. Tell them to forgive, not to fear. Tell them that love wins in the end. Then I was falling, falling. I woke up in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms and machines beeping around me. Mom was asleep in a chair beside my bed, her face red and swollen from crying. When I moved, she jerked awake. Emma. Oh, honey, you're awake. She grabbed my hand and squeezed it so tight it hurt, but I didn't mind. The doctor said they said you were gone for almost 20 minutes. Your heart stopped, and they couldn't. But then suddenly you came back. I looked at her tired, beautiful face and knew my life would never be the same. Mom, I said quietly, I need to tell you something. I need to tell everyone something. When I told the doctors what I had seen, they smiled politely and talked about hallucinations and oxygen-deprived brains. When I told my friends, some laughed, others got uncomfortable and changed the subject. When I told people at church, half of them said I was blessed and half of them said I was having a breakdown. But some people listened, really listened. And when they heard my story, their eyes got wide and they nodded like they had been waiting their whole lives to hear exactly these words. I felt it too. An old man told me after I spoke at a small prayer meeting, something's coming. Something big. I've been feeling it in my bones for months. A young mother with a baby on her hip stopped me in the grocery store. I keep having dreams, she whispered. Dreams about lights in the sky and everyone being quiet at the same time. Your story, it matches my dreams. These were the people Jesus had sent me back for. Not the ones who already believed everything or the ones who would never believe anything, but the ones who were hungry for truth, who had been feeling something stirring in their spirits but didn't know what it was. I've been back for 3 months now, and every day feels like borrowed time. I wake up every morning wondering if today will be the day I hear that 7-minute sound echoing across the sky. People ask me what they should do to get ready. They want to know if they should store food by generators moved to the mountains. But that's not what Jesus showed me. Prepare your hearts, not your pantries. I tell them, remembering his exact words. The darkness that's coming isn't about survival in the way we usually think about it. It's about being ready to meet God, to meet ourselves, to meet each other without all the distractions and noise that keep us from seeing clearly. Here's what I learned on the other side. Forgiveness is everything. All those people you're angry at, all those grudges you're carrying around like heavy stones. Put them down now. In the silence that's coming, unforgiveness will be the loudest thing in your heart, and it will drown out everything else. Love is the only thing that lasts. Your job, your money, your house, your car, none of that matters on the other side. But every act of love you've ever done, every kindness you've ever shown, every time you've chosen to help instead of hurt, that stuff glows like gold in heaven. God is not angry with you. I know a lot of people think the end times are about God's anger, about punishment and wrath. But what I saw was love, desperate, patient, never giving up love. The signs aren't coming to scare you. They're coming to wake us up, to remind us who we really are. You still have time. Whatever you've done, whoever you think you are, however far you think you've wandered from God, you still have time. The sound hasn't come yet. The lights haven't filled the sky yet. The silence hasn't fallen yet. You still have time to come home. I think about my mom sometimes. How she knelt beside my body on the kitchen floor and refused to give up. Refused to let me go. That's how God feels about each one of us. He's kneeling beside us, calling our names, refusing to give up on us. Even when we look completely lost, people sometimes ask me if I'm sad that I had to leave heaven and come back to this broken world. The honest answer is yes and no. Yes, because heaven is more beautiful than anything I can describe with words. The peace there, the love, the joy. It's like comparing a single candle to the sun when I try to explain it to people here. But no, because I understand now why Jesus sent me back. Every person who hears my story and starts to prepare their heart, every person who decides to forgive someone they've been angry at, every person who looks up at the sky and starts to pray. That's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you that death is not the end. I'm here to tell you that God is real, that Jesus is real, that heaven is real, and that love really does win in the end. I'm here to tell you that those 3 signs are coming. I don't know when, could be tomorrow, could be years from now, but they're coming. And when they do, you want to be ready. Not ready with supplies and survival gear, but ready in your heart. Ready to hear God's voice in the sound. Ready to see God's love in the lights. Ready to meet yourself honestly in the silence. I'm here to tell you that the darkness that follows isn't something to fear if you've prepared your heart. It's like being wrapped in God's arms while He fixes everything that's broken in the world. Most of all, I'm here to tell you that you are loved more than you can imagine, more than you think you deserve, more than you've ever been loved by any person on earth. You are seen, you are known, and you are wanted in heaven. The question Jesus asked me before I came back still echoes in my mind every single day. What will you do about it? That's the question I'm asking you now. You've heard my story. You know what's coming. You know that time is not unlimited, that chances are not infinite, that someday, maybe sooner than we think, we will all have to give an account of what we did with the love we were given. What will you do about it? Will you keep living like this world is all there is? Will you keep carrying around anger and unforgiveness like they're precious treasures? Will you keep ignoring the voice in your heart that's been trying to get your attention for years? Or will you start preparing your heart now while there's still time? The choice is yours. It's always been yours. But please don't wait until you hear that 7-minute sound echoing across the sky to make it. By then, it might be too late to change your heart. It will only be time to show what your heart has already chosen. I died and came back to tell you this story. I've done what Jesus asked me to do. The rest is up to you. And my prayer is that you will realize the importance of this information. Please make Jesus your Lord and Savior. And as you do so, you shall be blessed.